America's possibilities are limitless, for we possess all the qualities that this world without boundaries demands. Youth and drive, diversity and openness, an endless capacity for risk, and a gift for reinvention. My fellow Americans, we are made for this moment, and we will seize it so long as we seize it together.
I apologize for showing up unannounced. I've been trying to call your staff. They won't return my phone calls. So let me ask you, after your comments about the president, do you feel that voters are owed a better explanation than just, I misspoke?
I think that, as I stand by my statement, that I misspoke and I apologize.
Okay, and who are you apologizing to?
I stand by my statement that I misspoke and I apologize.
I apologize. We talk to you all the time. You're a very forthcoming guy. Who's telling you not to talk and to handle it like this?
I stand by my statement that I wrote, that you have, and I misspoke and I apologize.
Was it that you thought it would go over well in Elbert County where folks are very conservative and you'd never say something like that in the suburbs?
I stand by my statement that I misspoke and I apologize.
Is there anything that I can ask you that you'll answer differently?
I stand by my statement that I misspoke and I apologize.
Thank you, Congressman.
Individual differences and preferences never free.
Oh, hello, y'all. Hello, Facebook. Who you Googling, Google. What you talking about, Twitter. YouTube listeners and internet listeners all around the world. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. Hello, let's get the fun going. Let's get the shit slanging. Oh my goodness. I get so excited just before this show. I can't control it. I can't contain myself. Can I, y'all? I know. Listen, you are welcome to Let's Talk About It. Jackie and I are fussing before the show even starts, and I'm already laughing. But welcome to Let's Talk About It. I am your host, the wild and wonderful Brenda White, coming to you live from the city beautiful Orlando, Florida, where it is 84 degrees and sunny, absolutely fabulous. I live in a sunshine state, and you don't. I don't know what's happening around the country, but I do know this. If you want to live in a sunshine state, come to the sunshine state. Don't get confused with California. Florida is it. I mean, we may have a little... Hey, nobody introduced you yet. You ain't even on this show. Jackie.
You need to introduce me because I got something to say.
Okay. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and joining me to talk about it and always helping to keep you informed is my co-host, the wonderful, the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, aka Miss Uppity Speaks. Jackie, are you there?
I am here.
Oh my God, Jackie, I am too, but we always ready to roll because we fuss every day. At some point, at some time of the day, Jackie and I have to call each other and say, are you watching this shit? And speaking of shit, let me give you tonight's show title, which I had nothing to do with choosing, but I absolutely do love it. And it is.
You inspired the show title.
It is. No, they inspired the show titles, Jackie. It really ain't on us, but they inspire them, we come with them, and we love it. And tonight's subject is slanging shit. Okay. And it is so dead burn fitting. That's all I got to say. In the movie Gone with the Wind, Hattie McDaniel said it ain't fitting, it just ain't fitting for that little girl to ride the horse, straddled. Ladies supposed to sit on the horse sideways. But when Jack and I name give these subjects for the shows, it is fitting because these people are absolutely crazy.
Yes.
Okay, so speaking of slanging shit, Jackie, let me go ahead and rant a little bit more, and you give me an update on Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Krasinski of the Air Force. If y'all remember last week, I read to you the story of Lieutenant Colonel Krasinski because he was in charge of the assault prevention for the Air Force. And you know, Jackie and I have talked about the women and the men who are being raped in the military to the tune of 26,000 this year. That's just this year. We ain't counting last year and the years before. 26,000. We're talking men and women who are being raped in our military. An absolute crying shame. But just in February, as I told you last week, Lieutenant Krasinski was named the Chief Sexual Assault Prevention Officer. Wasn't that a mouthful, Jackie?
Yeah, he led the branch's sex assault response unit.
Yes, so
he was the chief of that.
Yeah,
the United States Air Force.
In black folks' language, we call it the head Negro in charge.
The HNIC.
That's right. But you know, I was telling y'all last week about the Chief Sexual Assault Prevention Officer getting his ass whooped outside of a bar as he went up to this woman and grabbed her by the boobies and then grabbed her in the crotch. And she whooped his ass, called the police. He was arrested. And as I said last week, I bet he was glad to see the popo, because if y'all saw that picture of him on my Facebook page, he got his ass whooped. And Jackie is gonna help me with my little 5-minute beginning rant of the show by giving me an update. He was arraigned last Thursday, Jackie. What happened to his ass?
Okay, a judge has set a July 18th trial date for Lieutenant Colonel
Krasinski.
He appeared last Thursday at an arraignment in Arlington County General District Court. The police say he groped a woman in a parking lot early Sunday. And his lawyer, who is named Cheryl Shane.
They always go get a woman, don't they?
The lieutenant colonel, they declined comment after the arraignment, but Ms. Shane argued for a later trial date, saying that she might have, you're going to love this, saying she might have numerous witnesses.
Might
There's
have.
a need for a significant investigation. But the judge said, nope. Going to trial July 18th.
How did he plead, Jackie? Not guilty?
Of course.
And so some woman just comes up and whoops a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, just comes up outside of a bar and whoops his ass for no reason.
Look. Listen, what did I say? The attorney says she might have numerous witnesses. Yeah. But if convicted,
that means give us some time to try to go smear this woman's reputation.
Exactly. Lieutenant Colonel Krasinski could face up to a year in prison if he is convicted of this.
Of groping.
Now, prior to the arraignment, there was some discussion that this matter would be turned over to
the military
to prosecute.
Military court.
The district attorney in Arlington County
said, hell no.
Since this happened on their turf, they were going to prosecute him, and the military could do whatever they wanted to do after that.
But he said, hell no.
Yes.
His ass going right here in the frying pan.
The civilian courts are going to get him first. And the military, they can strip him of his position, which has already been done.
Yes.
Court-martial him, fire him, and dishonorably discharge him.
Yeah. Like they did Alan West. I'm sorry.
But what Alan West wasn't dishonorably discharged, was he?
His pay was cut and
relieved of his command, but I don't believe he was dishonorably discharged.
Well, they put his ass out.
Yeah, they put him out. So Colonel, he has some explaining to do.
Okay, yeah, you got some explaining to do. Okay, so that is the beginning of my rant. Now, let me tell you, for the first 30 minutes, we're going to speak about, and this is a horrific story, but Jackie's going to tell us about women released after 10 years in captivity. Those 3 beautiful women who survived their terrible ordeal. And then we're going to talk about the NRC. Are we, Jackie, in this first half hour?
No, not in our first half hour, but we can.
Okay, I'm sorry, because Jackie and I coming right up to show schedule, we had to change a little bit of the schedule, and I got a little confused because I didn't write it down. But oh yes, okay. So we're going to go ahead and spend this next 17, 18 minutes discussing the women released after 10 years in captivity. I'm sure that will keep this first half hour jumping, because this was some kind of a story.
This is an extraordinary story.
Okay, Jackie, go ahead and tell the listeners about it.
It really is. Well, I'm sure that most of the listeners have heard this story already. That last week, and I think this happened on our show day last week or just after our show last week.
Yes, it had taken place, I think, shortly before our show aired.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have, all of the
many details.
It was a breaking story that day.
Right, things were going crazy.
But on Wednesday, Ariel Castro, who is 52 years old, was charged with kidnapping and rape.
Mm-hmm.
He's been charged with 4 counts of kidnapping and rape, and 3 counts of rape against all of these 3 women that he kidnapped and held in his house for 10 years.
That's just unbelievable.
Yes. And the reason there are 4 counts of kidnapping is because one of the victims, it's believed that Amanda Berry gave birth to a daughter while being held by this man. Mm-hmm. Now, initially when the story broke, it was Ariel Castro and his 2 brothers. Mm-hmm. But his 2 brothers have subsequently been released on bail because apparently this has been all Mr. Ariel's shtick. Mm-hmm. That he was the kidnapper and abuser. He was the sexual sadist who was holding these women. And what amazes me is that nobody knew anything. Mm-hmm. His brothers didn't know. His neighbors didn't know. Friends and coworkers, nobody knew. Nobody had a clue.
Well, Jackie, a few people did have a clue that something was wrong, and they swear that they called the police.
Yes. And
once they showed up and knocked about 20 times and left, and once they never showed up at all, as a call went in that they saw a woman crawling on all fours with a chain around her neck and butt naked in their backyard, in his backyard. And the police that just didn't even show up. Now, Jackie, it was said that they had some big community meeting. Well, they did have some big community meeting and a prayer visual at the church sometime last week. But I did not get a chance to listen to what went on there. But it was suspected that they were going to be talking and trying to get a better working relationship with this community, which is a low class, pay class community.
It's not a low class community.
I don't mean to say low class. Yeah, working folks. I was saying
the working community. And I just want to say about those particular reports of people saying that we called and the cops didn't do this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. There are conflicting reports about that. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you know how it is, Brenda, after the fact.
Yeah.
You know how things happen after the fact.
Yeah, why didn't you keep calling them? And why didn't you, but apparently.
If I saw someone in my neighbor's backyard, a naked woman.
On all fours.
On all fours.
With a chain around her neck.
Believe me, sweet thing.
I wouldn't stop calling.
Would not get away from there until they investigated that.
Not only that, Jackie, but knowing me and you and how we were raised, I would have been right out there saying, honey, what are you doing? Do you need some help?
Yes.
You know, I wouldn't have waited for the police to help this woman escape out of that situation. That is not normal, people. And you don't have to wait on the cops. Get your gun and bust out there and help her escape that shit.
Yes.
Okay, that's our opinion.
Yes, that is our opinion. But as grotesque as this story is, and yes, it is grotesque.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is not something that is new or unprecedented.
No.
There have been many cases over the years of women being held for long periods of time and being raped and brutalized by some person who psychologists describe as sexual sadist. And they talk about how it is difficult for the victims of this kind of crime to get away, not only because they're locked up and they experience sensory deprivation, because generally these men who hold these people make sure that they're in a dark place and they have no clothes and all.
Jackie,
it's really
and Jackie, not only that, but and our listeners, we all know that these people are in every walk of life. They're in powerful positions, political people, and the police department. They've got some sequence on there as well. And sometimes if you're calling about a woman being tortured or anything, they might not come, or if they come, they might not take it so seriously. Remember that they returned one of the victims of Jeffrey Dahmer's. They returned him to him.
Yes, that's right.
Let's don't forget about that. Running down the street, buck naked, screaming, "Help me!" And the police gave him back to Jeffrey Dahmer. Now,
because Dahmer said he and his boyfriend had an argument, and cops do not like to, as much as cops don't like to be involved in domestic disputes, they really hate gay domestic disputes. Okay. And so, like, let's take this off our hands. We don't even want to write this up. Yeah,
absolutely amazing. And that's not what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to, I saw, I watch a channel 1260 with AT&T. That's my carrier for my cable. And I just watched a story today. A 3-year-old saw her stepfather murder her mother, and this 3-year-old just kept talking about it and just kept talking about it. And they would not investigate this man. He didn't go to prison for 18 years. This child was 21, as she told grandmama and papa and anybody that would listen.
Yes.
How, and 3-year-olds don't know nothing about murders and shit.
Yes.
If they start talking about it, it probably happened. Yes. What do they know about it? So it is amazing how women in this country are still treated and overlooked, and there's such and Jackie, as I understand, the gentleman that helped Amanda escape and gave her his cell phone to call the police. I understand that they've been really dumping on him because I think he had a few domestic violence things in his record, but his ex-wife came to his rescue and said, what went on between us, and it's absolutely unfair to bring that in here now when this man has done a heroic thing. And when they said, there's a reward, $25,000, and he said all the city has to do is write that check out to those 3 women.
Oh, absolutely.
So he did a heroic thing.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Jackie.
Yes. Well, no, that's wonderful. But we were talking about other cases, and I just wanted to remind everyone about the case of Cameron Hooker. He kidnapped a 20-year-old woman named Colleen Sand, who was hitchhiking to a friend's birthday party.
I'm sorry, Jackie. That's my crazy cell phone going off. Go ahead. Somebody texting. Go ahead, Jackie. Sorry. Jackie? Did I lose you? Okay. Sounds like I lost Jackie. Jackie, are you there? Okay, everybody. Sounds like I lost Jackie. I'm going to take a short break until I can get her back on the line. So y'all stick and stay, okay? You are listening to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and joining me to talk about it and always helping to keep you informed is my beautiful niece, the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert. Y'all stick and stay. I'll get Jackie right back on the line, and we will continue this conversation. Thank you for joining us.
This world could never separate us from this love that we are. We're all made of the same stuff everywhere, from Mother Earth to the stars. Ooh, we
Hey y'all, you are listening to the beginning of Spreaker's Tuesday night triple threat in full effect. Starting out with Let's Talk About It with the wild and wonderful Brenda White and the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, aka Miss Uppity Speaks. And waiting at the Spreaker Depot is David Capers and that wild train ride he's going to take you on called the Razor Blade Express. Oh, honey, you know you got to hold on to your wig and your panties too, because this ride is unbelievable. And then waiting in the wings is the Love Doctor, DJ Tony Sanchez, with the smoothest, most relaxing love songs on the net. So stick and stay right here for Spreaker's Tuesday night triple threat in full effect, beginning at 5 until 7 p.m. for Let's Talk About It, the funniest, the craziest, and the most informative political talk show on the net. And then waiting at the depot, get your tickets for David Capers and the Razor Blade Express from 7 until 10 p.m. And waiting in the wings from 10 until 12 midnight, the Love Doctor, DJ Tony Sanchez. He's gonna do it to you up and down, round and round, back and forth, side to side, and then straight down the middle of your ear hole. I'll see you in the chat room at Spreaker@Spreaker.com, all times Eastern.
Economy is getting very bad.
kids to sleep. Steroids tore our sports apart. Our children looked up to them and they broke their hearts. Young man has a shootout at the mall. Kills 9 people himself. Where did we go wrong? Cancer and AIDS still have no cures. Viruses getting stronger than the drugs that cure.
Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No, no. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be.
Terror and panic all across the world. Let's make it better for our boys and girls. TV is polluting our children's minds. This summer, which side will you occupy? The world is rated X. Just turn on the news and you will see what's next. People, we need to make things right. Let's not be responsible for our own demise.
Oh, mercy, mercy me.
Oh, yes, indeed. You are back with Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White. I lost my co-host, the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, on the line, but you know I've always got some stories to tell you, and y'all can comment. That is my friend, R&B crooner Cheyenne Anthony, from his State of the World 2012 album, Mercy, Mercy Me. Oh, I really, really, really like that thing. Okay, until we can get Jackie back on the line, I don't know if they had an earthquake in California or what, but she was absolutely zapped from me, and that was the end of that. Okay, but as soon as Jackie joins us back on the line, God willing, we will continue with the general crazy shit. Okay, Jackie will continue talking about Mark Sanford winning South Carolina. Say it ain't so. Ted Cruz wants to be president. Really? And then we will talk about the Hispanic NRC defection. Someone, a big NRC Hispanic muckety muck, has defected from the Republican Party and is going Democrat. And he says he's not trying to make all the Hispanic people from the Republican Party follow him, but he wished they would. So hopefully we're going to get Jackie back, and she will continue telling us about that. Okay, in the meantime, y'all, okay, have y'all been keeping up with this story? Okay, about the okay, let me read the headlines to you, and then I'll read the story. Convicted PA abortion doctor gets life in prison. Okay, so coming out of Philadelphia, the AP poll, a Philadelphia abortion doctor convicted of killing 3 babies born alive at his grimy clinic was spared a possible death sentence Tuesday in a deal with prosecutors. Dr. Kermit Gosnell gave up his right to appeal and in return will spend life in prison. Gosnell, 72, was found guilty Monday of first-degree murder in a case that became a flashpoint in the nation's abortion debate. I don't know why, because Dr. Gosnell was breaking the law on every turn. So I don't know why well, I do know why. Because the people that want to overturn abortion in this country will do anything to act like we were participating in that mess. We were not. And from all accounts, Dr. Gosnell was breaking every rule, was breaking the law on all fours. So he has nothing to do with the fight to keep abortion rights legal in this country. As a matter of fact, he personifies the fact that we should keep abortion legal in this country so that we don't have scum like him doing this kind of back alley mess. Do y'all hear me? Nobody, not me, not anyone who stands up for a woman's right to choose supports this bastard right here. Okay? Okay, that said, now let me continue reading the story. Former clinic employees testified that Gosnell routinely performed illegal abortions past Pennsylvania's 24-week limit, that he delivered babies who were still moving, whimpering, or breathing, and that he and his assistants dispatched the newborns by snipping their spines, as he referred to it. Oh my goodness. Does that not make your skin crawl or what, y'all? Prosecutors had sought the death penalty because Gosnell killed more than one person, and his victims were especially vulnerable given their age. But Gosnell's own Gosnell's own advanced age had made it unlikely he would ever be executed before his appeals ran out. Yeah, being 72, life in prison for him is probably not going to be very long. But I will tell you this, living in such small confinements, y'all, when you think they're not suffering in prison, they are. My brother is a captain or a lieutenant at a prison in Arkansas. And my brother always talks about that once they've been there for a week or two, they get a whole different look in their eyes. Panic, crazy. They are suffering. When you're locked up in a cell 6x6 or 6x8, believe me, it'll do something to you. I've never been locked up in a cell like that. I've been to jail a couple of times, as we've laughed here before about, and I was always in the right when I went. But I stayed in Japan for 6 months, and you won't even believe the bathtubs in Japan. You can't stretch your legs out in a bathtub in Japan, I guess, unless, they've had really had a lot of input in their building or something. But in my apartment in Japan, I never saw a tub like that in my life. My apartment was very tiny, and let me tell you, I went to sleep and slept real good, but I got up getting out of there each day because you really can go a little nutty, and that small apartment, I'm pretty sure my living room, my bedroom had to be 3 times bigger than my apartment in Japan, 3 or 4 times bigger, maybe 5. And I wasn't in prison, but let me tell you, as nice and as clean as my apartment was, it could do something to you if you got locked up in there and had to stay there. Okay? So believe me, these men that go to prison and have to sit there day in and day out, it ain't no joke sitting in those little cells. Okay? Okay, so now let me continue reading the story. Prosecutors instead agreed to life sentences without parole, and Gosnell was to face further sentencing Wednesday. In the death of the third baby, an involuntary manslaughter conviction in the death of a patient, and hundreds of lesser counts. Gosnell has said he considered himself a pioneering inner-city doctor who helped desperate women get late-term abortions. But you went past the late term, dog. You broke your law. Pennsylvania had a 24-week. That was their limit, 24 weeks. that you could perform an abortion, and you went way past that. So I guess you were pioneering, in the sense that you probably broke more laws than any doctor there. So we could say you a pioneer in that, and you a pioneer probably in killing these babies that were breathing, whimpering, um, snipping their spines, as you called it. Oh my God. Yeah, we could say you a pioneer. Okay, all right, I'll go along with that. A pioneer in monsterism. Okay, absolutely. We with you right there. Okay, Gosnell has said he considered himself a pioneer, himself a pioneer and inner city doctor who helped desperate women get late term abortions. Defense lawyer Jack, what is his name? McNamara, said before the sentencing deal that his client's bid for acquittal was a battle. Acquittal? Are you serious? I mean, he really thought that he could get him acquitted? Oh, please. Okay, not from what all of the evidence that they've talked about having against him, along with nurses that quit the clinic because they couldn't bear working with him. And when the FBI invaded the place, I mean, they found body parts and all some gross stuff. I mean, tools laying next to blood, and oh, it was horrible, y'all. I can't believe that his attorney is even talking about acquittal. Okay, the media has been overwhelmingly against him. McMahon, oh, his name is McMahon. Sorry, y'all. You know I wear glasses to read. McMahon said, but I think the jury listened to the evidence and they found what they found. The gruesome details of Gosnell's operation came out more than 2 years ago during a grand jury investigation of prescription drug trafficking. Authorities raiding Gosnell's clinic for drugs instead found bags and bottles of fetuses. Oh my God. Including jars of severed feet. Okay. Oh, how did his attorney ever think that he was going to get an acquittal? Okay, Miss Uppity Speaks is in the chat room, and she says she had a power outage in California. I was just saying, y'all, hope she didn't get zapped in an earthquake. She said to give her 5 minutes, and she will get back up with us on the phone. In the meantime, let me finish reading y'all this disgusting story. I don't even believe that this doctor's lawyer, Mr. McMahon, even let the words acquittal come out of his mouth. As I was saying, when the FBI authorities raiding Gosnell's clinic for drugs instead found bags and bottles of fetuses, including jars of severed feet, along with blood-stained furniture, dirty medical instruments, and cats roaming the premises. Get out of here. Okay, I'd heard about all the other stuff, and now they got cats roaming. Oh my God. Can you imagine how anybody didn't come out of that clinic infected in every which way? And why was he saving bottles and bags of fetuses? Was he selling stuff to science and stem cell research? What in the hell? This is amazing, y'all. And I'm so amazed because I'm reading the story for the first time with you guys, okay? So y'all gonna find me stopping and cussing in a few instances. I've been following the news, but it's always amazing when you read for yourself, isn't it? Ugh. Okay. Continued reading of Dr. Monster. Okay. Prosecution experts said one of the babies was nearly 30 weeks along when the abortion took place and was so big that Gosnell allegedly joked the baby could walk to the bus. Oh my God. A second baby was said to be alive for about 20 minutes before a clinic worker snipped the neck. Y'all, I'm getting dizzy. I think I'm about to pass out the chair. A third was born in a toilet and was moving before another clinic employee severed the spinal cord, according to testimony. Jesus. A fourth baby let out a whimper before Gosnell cut the neck. Prosecutors alleged, and his lawyer used the words acquittal. It was really tough getting an acquittal. He wasn't about to get no acquittal with this kind of testimony coming, oh my God, from within his clinic, and with what the FBI found there. They went there because of his prescription drug writing for Vicaprofen and oxycodone and all this kind of stuff. He was writing these prescriptions. They raided his clinic. Excuse me, everybody. I'm sure this is Jackie calling back. They must have the power back. They do indeed. Hey, Jackie, you're back with us, and we are delighted.
I am.
Okay, let me finish reading this story to the listeners, and then we'll go back and talk about what we were talking about.
Okay.
But this is horrible, Jackie. I am reading the story of Dr. Gosnell in Pennsylvania, who was sentenced to,
guy?
yes, who was sentenced to life, and this stuff is absolutely unbelievable. Have you read the story, Jackie?
Yeah, I have.
Absolutely unbelievable. Okay, so let me get back to the story. As I was saying, the last paragraph I read, a fourth baby let out a whimper before Gosnell cut the neck, prosecutors alleged. Gosnell was acquitted in that baby's death, the only one of the four in which no one testified to seeing the baby killed. Okay, but these others, they all saw this. Gosnell's attorney argued that none of the fetuses was born alive and that any movements were posthumous, twitching.
Posthumous.
What is it? Posthumous.
After
Posthumous, a twitching or spasms. How the hell would he know? He wasn't there. Oh my God. And I don't know that you're doing too much twitching for 20 minutes when you dead.
Yeah, it's a new one on me.
Okay, Jackie, now I have never died, but I don't think I'm going to be twitching for 20 minutes. Oh my God.
Let's hope you aren't anyway.
Okay, Pennsylvania authorities had failed to conduct routine inspections of all its abortion clinics for 15 years by the time Gosnell's facility was raided. In the scandal's aftermath, 2 top state health officials were fired and Pennsylvania imposed tougher rules for clinics. Okay, so we don't just have Dr. Gosnell to blame. For 15 years, people that were supposed to be inspecting clinics throughout Pennsylvania hadn't done it for 15 years, just getting a paycheck. Wasn't doing their job like the IRS is doing, damn it. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Parsons on both sides of the nation's polarized abortion debate were quick to weigh in after the verdict. Abortion foes said the case helped to illustrate the disturbing reality of abortion, which is what I was just saying after Jackie got cut off and I started to read this story. This man only strengthens the case that people that believe in a woman's right to choose, he only strengthens the case that this is what we will have to go back to, Jackie, if abortions are, made illegal.
Yes.
This is what we'll have to go back to. This is the back alley abortion crap that that goes on. And this doctor broke every rule of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has a rule that you cannot abort a fetus that is more than 24 weeks old. And so this is what he was doing, along with getting rich, I'm sure, writing pain prescription. And that's why the FBI was there. They weren't there about him, the killing of babies and the filth of his clinic, fetuses in jars, in bags, and cats roaming the premises.
Oh my gosh.
Instruments laying in blood puddles ready to be used. Oh, please. This helps with the argument that if you all illegal make abortions illegal in this country again, this is what people are going to have to face. This is what they faced before.
Yes.
Okay, so this helps more people realize what abortion is really all about, said David Osteen, executive director of the National Rights to Life Committee. He said he hopes the case results in more states passing bills that prohibit abortion once the unborn child can feel pain. I didn't know that we had. Oh, okay, never mind. Who does this anyway? Well, Dr. Gosnell did. Okay, supporters of legalized abortion said the case offered a preview of what poor, desperate young women could face if abortion is driven underground with more restrictive laws. Absolutely, he does. And I don't understand, Jackie, why anyone would want to turn that back, because it has always been my opinion that we got to see God for ourselves. We got to face him with our own sins, and nobody's going to be punished for your sins but you. But if people, I mean, we already know that many women died before abortion was made legal. They're still dying, but the more clinics that we have that are allowed to run like this, I don't understand, and I don't understand these men being in all of our business. Who is it, Governor Vaginal Probe?
Yeah, Bob McDonnell of Virginia.
Yeah, Bob McDonnell. I mean, what is this? All these men are making laws for our genitalia and stuff, our bodies. What does your sign say on Miss Uppity Jackie? On Miss Uppity Speaks page on Facebook? My body, my womb, my decision.
That's right.
Praise the Lord. Okay, let me finish reading the story real fast so Jackie and I can get back to the show schedule. But I had to do something as I lost my co-host. Okay, Kermit Gosnell has been found guilty and will get what he deserves. Now let's make sure that these women are vindicated by delivering what all women deserve: access to the full range of health services, including safe, high quality, and legal abortion care, said I don't know what that name is. Isley G. Hogue, president of NARAL, Pro-Choice America. During the trial, Gosnell proved a solitary figure from beginning to end, with no friends or relatives in the courtroom. Ooh. Despite the fact he's been married 3 times and has 6 children, nearly all of them adults. Ooh, Jackie, he had no support. Nobody would come to.
Well, that says something about him anyway.
Doesn't it? Gosnell did not testify and called no witnesses in his defense. Oh, hell. I don't even know how his attorney used the word acquittal. He wasn't getting no acquittal. Even the cats didn't show up for him. But McMahon branded prosecutors elitist and racist for pursuing his client, who is black. I told you he was black, Jackie.
Yeah, I knew that.
He might have. Somebody said no, he's not black. Oh yes, he was.
He's kind of red, freckly faced guy.
Yeah, he was red, freckly, but his nose, his appearance. He was a little. What's his name? The former FBI director who was black. Herbert.
Oh, you mean a little Hoover?
Yeah, he was a little Hoover. but I scope those black features. I said, oh, he's a Negro. Yes, he is. Okay, so anyway, um, McMahon branded prosecutors elitist and racist for pursuing his client, who is black, whose patients were mostly poor minorities. I wanted to be an effective, positive force in the minority community, Gosnell told the Philadelphia Daily News in a 2010 interview. I believe in the long term, I will be vindicated. Gosnell was also convicted of infanticide. What is infanticide?
That's killing babies.
Killing babies. Thank you, Jackie. You knew the first the root word was infant, so you had to figure that out, right? Well, I did. You knew. Racketeering and more than 200 counts of violating Pennsylvania's abortion laws by performing third-term abortions or failing to counsel women 24 hours in advance. The defense also contended that the 2009 death of 41-year-old Carnamaya Mongar of Woodbridge, Virginia, what's a Houdanist? A Buddhist?
I'm sorry, sweetie.
That is Bhutanese. The B is probably silent. A Houdanese immigrant. Houdanese. What's a Houdanese, Jackie? It has to be. It has to be like a Vietnamese or something.
You said BH, right?
It is BH, and I'm sure the B is silent. What do you think?
I doubt that.
You doubt it? Okay, so it's a Bhutanese immigrant. I'd like to know what heritage that is, who had been given repeated doses of Demerol and other powerful drugs to sedate her and induce labor, was caused by unforeseen complications and did not amount to murder, as prosecutors charged. Okay, so we're getting to the very end here. This is the last part. Bernard Smalley, a lawyer for the woman's family, said he now hopes to bring some sense of justice and quiet to this family that's been through so much. That is awful. And I think I've commented enough. And so, Jackie, let's get back to the show schedule, and let's get back to the general crazy shit.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, the first thing under our general craziness is that former governor of South Carolina, Mark Sanford, won the congressional special election in his district.
Okay, my mouth fell open.
I just can't believe it.
I can't either, Jack, and my mouth fell open.
I just can't believe
What rabbit did he pull out the hat at the end after she had a 10-point lead on him and he had 2 weeks to make it up?
Well, in my opinion, it is simply that district is very heavily Republican.
Yeah, and a Democrat has not held the seat in Congress for 30 years.
That's right.
And so I guess the Republicans said that we got to step up, y'all. No matter how you hate him, we need to hold that seat.
And in the report subsequent to the election results, that's sort of what happened.
Okay, and we are political psychics, so I didn't read that. I just figured it out. We psychics, me and Jackie. So I'm telling you, that's what happened, okay?
Yes.
They said, we know he's a rat. We know he's a cheater. We know he's being arraigned on Thursday for sneaking in his wife's house and trespassing and breaking all the rules and the laws of the divorce decree. But, you know, when you got so much power, they don't believe that the law pertains to them.
Yeah.
That's why he did that shit. And she called him, Mark, is that you? Ooh, oh, shit. Hey, what you doing? Coming out the back door of my house. Well, I wanted to watch the game with the boys. You know, didn't want to leave them alone. So why can you call and ask? Okay, enough said about it.
I just wanted to do a little follow-up.
Okay.
With Mark Sanford.
Yes,
and
please.
That is that he did not have to go to court.
Really?
Thursday.
Isn't that amazing? Why not?
He settled with his ex-wife over the trespassing complaint.
Money talks and bullshit walk, and they still slanging shit.
Exactly. He'll have to pony up $5,000
for trespass
to cover his ex's court fees. for this, but the settlement was filed almost immediately after the election.
Hey, Jackie, you can get out of anything here if you got enough money.
Yes.
You know, if that little creature that kidnapped those girls had enough money, he could probably get out of his shit too. He just ain't got it.
Yeah, well, Sanford admitted to being in contempt of his 2010 divorce decree in the settlement. And the judge agreed not to impose a sentence so long as he sticks to the decree's terms going forward.
Yeah, like he did before. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
This man.
So no, he didn't end up going to court. But that was right after he was elected to Congress. They settled up.
Jackie, this is amazing. You know, Mark Sanford isn't learning anything except that I'm Mark Sanford and I can get away with it.
Yes. Well, I have
to
tell you that I am surprised that he won that election. I am surprised by the margin of victory for him because he won by 9 points.
Yes. When that was flipped in 2 weeks, when this was Colbert Bush's lead.
Yes, exactly and apparently the Republican voters in that district just had a change of heart, and they just couldn't vote for a Democrat.
Well, hopefully,
and that tells you something right there.
Yep.
When people talk about how polarized our politics are, that is a prime example of it.
Jackie,
Mark Sanford could not represent me.
Okay, Jackie, it either is a prime example or some show enough cheating going on.
Well, there's always plenty of that as well. But it's my understanding that district is skewed really heavily Republican.
Yes, that's my understanding too.
There are twice as many Republicans in the district as Democrats.
So
it would be really hard for a Democrat to win without significant Republicans.
Yes, and the fact that a Democrat hasn't held that seat in 30 years tells you a little bit of something.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ted Cruz, it is said he wants to be president. Really? What the hell, Jackie? You ain't talking about crazy Ted Cruz, are you?
That is precisely.
No, you talking about another Ted Cruz that I don't know about. Because you ain't talking about this crazy ass Ted Cruz.
Yes, I'm talking about the very same crazy ass Ted Cruz, who is the freshman senator from Texas.
Do you, may I ask you, what gave you this notion that he wants to be president?
Well, it has been speculated for quite a while that Mr. Cruz has designs on running for president of the United States.
Girl, please.
That has been rumored, and he has done nothing to quell those rumors.
Well, you know what I say, Jackie? Yay. I'm going to root for him just like I rooted for Michelle Bachmann, and just like we rooted for Newt was your guy. I'm going to root for him because this ensures the Democrats a victory. I'm going to root for him just like we rooted for, who's the man that took the dead baby home for the kids to rub him for the night?
Rick Santorum.
Rick Santorum. We're going to root for him just like we rooted for Rick Santorum.
Yes. Well, the thing that's interesting about Senator Ted Cruz, he is a Tea Party darling. He is the candidate who beat out Rick Perry's hand-chosen candidate for that Senate seat. And he's a Tea Party person, and he has been extremely outrageous. I mean, as for a freshman senator to come into the Senate making as much noise as Ted Cruz has is really unprecedented.
Well, Tea Party is
even when Barack Obama was elected to Senate under such fanfare, he was not a media hog like this guy. And he wasn't making a nuisance of himself like this guy is. And I believe that Ted Cruz has been encouraged by President Obama's example. Unfortunately, Ted Cruz is a lunatic.
Amen to that.
Yeah, so his odds of winning the presidency, I'll go ahead and call that early, are really long. They're not very good.
I'll call it better than that. It is 0 to nothing.
Yeah, but what's most fun about the whole Ted Cruz thing is that Ted Cruz was born in Canada.
Say it ain't so. Show me your
It's like
papers,
to say it ain't
please.
so, but it is true.
Show me your papers. Okay, Jackie, we're going to deviate just a little bit. Would you, just before the break, would you tell me about the NRC's Hispanic defection, please?
Okay. Well, as everyone knows, the Republican National Committee has been working really hard to do outreach to minorities.
Well, all they had to do
we
was...
had a segment on a show a little while after the election when the Republicans did their, quote, post-mortem, unquote.
their autopsy.
On the 2012 election. They recognized, they discovered that Hispanics weren't too keen on the Republican Party because 71% of self-identified Hispanics voted Democratic.
But Jackie, they also had a seminar and taught each other how to change their tone.
Apparently it didn't work too well because a former Republican official from Florida who oversaw outreach to Hispanic voters is switching his party affiliation to Democrat.
Get the fuck out of here.
Pablo Pantoja.
Pablo. Arriba. What did he do, Jackie?
Pablo Pantoja, who served as a Hispanic outreach official with the Republican National Committee last year, said that the recent controversy over a Heritage Foundation researcher named Jason Richwine, who claimed Hispanic immigrants have lower IQs than non-Hispanic white Americans, sparked him to leave the GOP. Let me give you the man's quote. It doesn't take much to see the culture of intolerance surrounding the Republican Party today. I have wondered before about the seemingly harsh undertones about immigrants and others. Look no further. A well-known organization recently confirms the intolerance of that which seems different or strange to them. And this man is an Iraq War veteran who was born in Puerto Rico.
Jackie.
And he was part of the RNC's big push to do outreach to Hispanic voters. And it's just like you and I have talked about before. How can members of minority groups defend the GOP? How can they?
Well, Jackie, you and I have been saying for a very long time, how can they? And don't they see I mean, what was it? The Republicans came out with some report, or one of their crazies came out talking about how Hispanic people aren't as smart and sharp, and therefore
that was the Heritage Foundation.
The report. Babies won't be.
That's what he was.
That's what sparked him.
That was the last straw for him.
Very good, and I'm glad to see that some folks can see, and you're just not a damn fool, as the black men, the few black men that came out and continued to say that there was no voter registration fraud going on. There was
no voter suppression going on.
No voter suppression going on, as we saw it around the nation, and as the NRC chairman for what was it, Pennsylvania, said that this was what was going done. This was going to allow them to win.
Yeah, that was Mr. Tarzai.
Yeah, and they can't keep their freaking mouths shut, and then you had black men defending them. They ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, that was
and so I'm so glad to see that somebody in the Republican Party that is Hispanic has finally stopped supporting these people and let them just treat and talk about your people like anything. And of course, they were in the suppression. They were trying to suppress all the brown folks.
Well, Brenda, it gets better than that. Today, the Republicans held a press conference on Capitol Hill where they were talking about the supposedly bipartisan immigration bill that's working its way through the Senate. And one of our personal favorites, Louis Gohmert.
My baby. My boo. If you want a crazy man, you get yourself Louis Gomer, damn it. You got crazy, baby, in a battle. Crazy in a bottle.
Baby, yes.
Yeah.
Louis Gohmert, who is a congressman from the great state of Texas.
What my husband do this week, Jackie? What'd he do this week?
And Stephen King of New York was there. And a lot of the real psychos from Congress, were there. And one of them said that if he had to choose between having to take immigration reform or having to take Obamacare, he felt Obamacare would do far less damage to the country.
This is after their 40th vote to overturn it?
Yes.
Jackie, why do they waste our time? And since you are really, really knowledgeable in this stuff, does it cost us extra money for them to hold all these hearings and vote for the 40th time? Does it cost us extra money than what they're getting paid, or no?
Well, Brenda, as far as the cost goes, this stuff is supposed to be in the congressional budget because it is the job of Congress to have hearings. Now, this was not a hearing. This was just a press conference.
Uh-huh.
So I don't think that it costs us much. Us any significant money.
So who's
go out and stand in front of a bunch of microphones and make fools of themselves?
Let me ask you this: are the same people coming up with trying to overturn Obamacare, or are they taking turns? Your time, Louis.
Well, I have to tell you that at the beginning of this Congress, of this session of Congress, Michelle Bachmann offered a bill to overturn Obamacare, and she could get no co-sponsor.
Well, ain't nobody gonna co-sponsor shit Michelle Bachmann because they are running from that dizzy heifer. I mean, look, it's okay to be associated with Ted Cruz and Louis and them crazy Tea Parties, but when you come to a woman who's really nuts, then they stand up as brothers against her ass.
Well, Brenda, I just must say you have violated our prohibition against name calling.
Yes, I did. Damn it. Oh, okay, Jackie, don't fire me, okay? Stay with me. I'll try to stop calling her names, and I'm sorry that I called her ignorant heifer. What I call it?
It is hard. Because what comes to my mind, when you said that, what I was thinking is dizzy heifer. But I didn't call her that. That was just what I was thinking.
No, Jackie, you're killing me. Just when I thought I was in real trouble with Jackie, because, we have our rules for the show. And she told me to try to discontinue or to try to concentrate less on calling them names, and let's concentrate more on bringing the story and the facts. Okay. And you know what that dizzy heifer did today? I always break the rules. I am sorry. But listen, if Rush Limbaugh can make up a song called Puff the Magic Negro and sing it.
No, that's Barack the Magic Negro. And someone else made up that song.
Yes, I mean Barack.
Played it, yes.
Yeah, so if he can do that with his 20 million listeners, surely, Jack, I can do it with my few listeners, and I won't get hated. Okay, but you are listening to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White. Helping me to talk about it and always helping me to keep you informed is the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, a.k.a. Miss Uppity Speaks. And in the chat room from Australia, the co-host of the co-host, Miss Jillian, I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar Anderson, is in the chat room ready to give her Aussie opinions on this stuff. and I don't know who you are, ICS, but stop calling my phone line. Okay, anyway, I'm in the middle of trying to take a break here, y'all. Y'all stick and stay with us right here. Let's talk about it, and we will be right back to help you stay informed, okay? Okay, let's go.
But don't you be deceived. Oh, yeah. We
Hi, this is Brenda White of The Brenda White Shows right here at Spreaker.com, inviting you to join me every Monday night from 7 until 9 p.m. and every Wednesday night from 8 until 10 p.m. for words of inspiration and prayer from the altar with Pastor Mitty Collier. I promise you a shouting good time, and Pastor Collier will give us that much needed food for the soul, and then I will top that off with the best gospel music on the net. So join me every Monday from 7 until 9 and every Wednesday from 8 until 10 p.m. Eastern Time right here for words of inspiration and prayer from the altar with Pastor Mitty Collier at Spreaker.com. And I'll see you in the chat room. Hey y'all, you are listening to the beginning of Spreaker's Tuesday night triple threat in full effect, starting out with Let's Talk About It with the wild and wonderful Brenda White and the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, aka Miss Uppity Speaks, and waiting at the Spreaker Depot is David Capers and that wild train ride he's going to take you on called the Razor Blade Express. Oh, honey, you know you got to hold on to your wig and your panties too, because this ride is unbelievable. And then waiting in the wings is the Love Doctor, DJ Tony Sanchez, with the smoothest, most relaxing love songs on the net. So stick and stay right here for Spreaker's Tuesday night triple threat in full effect, beginning at 5 until 7 p.m. for Let's Talk About It, the funniest, the craziest, and the most informative political talk show on the net. And then waiting at the depot, get your tickets for David Capers and the Razor Blade Express from 7 until 10 p.m. And waiting in the wings from 10 until 12 midnight, the Love Doctor, DJ Tony Sanchez. He's gonna do it to you up and down, round and round, back and forth, side to side, and then straight down the middle of your ear hole. I'll see you in the chat room at Spreaker.com, all times Eastern. Oh, Sookie now. Okay, so y'all got all of that. You know, I may have weighed your brain down with what's going on, but this is the beginning of Tuesday night's triple threat in full effect right here at Spreaker.com. And Daddy Boo Boo is in the chat room. Let me welcome him, and welcome to, once again, our co-host of the co-host, Miss Jillian I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar Anderson, and she will be chiming in and making us crack up and you know, whatever else. Okay, all right, so Jackie, let's get back to it. Republican obstruction.
Well, the reason that this show is entitled Slangin Shit today.
Yes, it is. Slangin Shit.
That's something that a phrase that my great-grandmother used to great effect back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that this program is entitled that is because that is precisely what the Republicans have been doing recently. And first we had the obstruction of the gun law,
Mm-hmm.
just requiring full background checks.
Mm-hmm.
And even out of the mouths of one of their own senators, we understood why that law couldn't go through. Could you play Senator Toomey, Brenda?
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
just real quick.
It's just real short, and let's hear what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the end we didn't, because there are people on my side who didn't want to be perceived to be helping something that the president wants to accomplish, simply because it's the president who wants to accomplish it.
What? What did he say? Help the president accomplish because the president wanted to accomplish, and that's why his side did what?
That's why his side didn't support the legislation.
He told it, didn't he, Jackie?
He did.
They always
And
tell
that
it.
is what breaks my heart about this mostly though, Brenda,
Mm-hmm.
is that even though we disagree about a lot of different things,
Mm-hmm.
in general, and this is a broad generalization,
Mm-hmm.
but in general, our legislators have been able to come together to do things for the American people over the history of the country. Not always, but in general.
In general.
The work gets done.
Yes.
Where we are now, the thing about this is so personal, and it is so petty.
Yeah.
It is not worthy of the conduct of an elected official.
The Democrats.
Unworthy. This conduct is not worthy of a great nation. We deserve so much better.
The Democrats didn't do this with George Bush, Jackie. When we were attacked on 9/11, all of the senators and congressmen and congresswomen came together on the steps singing "America the Beautiful." They don't support this man on anything.
No.
Now, what happened in Benghazi? We lost our American brothers and sisters.
Yes.
And everybody knows that the jobs overseas and around even here in politics, it's dangerous.
Yes.
And especially overseas.
Yes.
Where we are so hated. And Barack Obama continues to try to tell us, he talks to us about closing Guantanamo. And he says the reason is because it does not help us. It only helps people to hate us.
Yes.
He tries to do things that doesn't make, they hate this president. They're not with him on anything.
Yes.
Even when he killed bin Laden, they didn't want to say. So now they've been to Benghazi and back, and there's nothing there except the fact that they had asked for more funding to help with security at our embassies around the country and around the world. And who voted that shit down?
And it's not just that they voted it down, but they launched this personal attack against Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
Republicans did.
And Susan Rice, who had...
The Department asked for more funding to beef up security. The Republicans voted that down and talk bad about Hillary Clinton.
Jackie, but before that, it was all about getting rid of Susan Rice. Make sure she wasn't the new Secretary of State. And now they're back with the same bullshit because they're so afraid that Hillary Clinton is going to run for president and they've already lost. Well, you've already lost because you got dog crazy. And you keep doing this crazy shit, and they have come up with a bill to defeat Obamacare 40 times, but yet they won't even discuss the president's jobs bill to help the people of this country.
No.
Listen, I'm getting a headache. See, I'm going off again. I'm sorry, Jackie.
There she goes again.
Yes, Jackie. Please continue. The IRS hates the Tea Party. If you don't have any more to say on the obstructionists and obstructionism.
Yes, well, yes, that's it. The IRS hates the Tea Party, and I do too.
And me three. God almighty.
Okay. Well, today, Attorney General Eric Holder announced that he'd ordered the FBI to investigate the Internal Revenue Service to see if they broke any laws when they targeted conservative groups for closer scrutiny of their tax-exempt status.
Mm-hmm.
And conservative groups have been complaining for a couple of years now that the IRS was abusing them.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is that whenever a group applied for nonprofit status, when they had names like Tea Party or Patriot in their name,
Mm-hmm.
the Internal Revenue Service gave them closer scrutiny. They were applying for 501c4
Mm-hmm.
nonprofit status.
Right.
Now,
And,
I want everybody to understand, since I used to run a 501c6, okay?
mm-hmm.
And there are several different designations for nonprofit organizations under the Internal Revenue Service Code.
Mm-hmm.
But I must tell you that for all nonprofit organizations, the Internal Revenue Service, one of the things that is required is that you be nonpartisan and non-sectarian.
Mm-hmm.
There is there are each one of these designations. A 501c3 tends to be a benevolent organization. A 501c6, like I ran, was a chamber of commerce, and that was considered a private nonprofit member
Mm-hmm.
group association that we advocated for our local business community and that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about a 501c4 is that it is supposed to be for public education and social welfare.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the Internal Revenue Service needs to draw a distinction between political groups, which is something totally different. They come under a totally different section, and the
Mm-hmm.
rules are different for them.
Mm-hmm.
And a 501c4, which has to fall into the category of engaging and primarily engaged in promoting the common good and general welfare of the community.
Mm-hmm.
So these political groups who are trying to get from under the rules that apply to political groups are applying for nonprofit status under the social welfare clause.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally don't think that that is appropriate.
Well, Jackie, you and I were talking about this story earlier, and you said something to me. You said the reason these investigations came about of these different groups or whatever.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't about the different groups.
I'm sorry, with the IRS is because the Republicans demanded.
No, that wasn't.
Tell us
the
that.
IRS.
Tell me this again.
Another one. This was the DOJ getting subpoenas for phone records from Associated Press.
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
That was another one.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, but to be fair though, when Acorn was still in operation, the Republicans did try to get Acorn through the same Internal Revenue Service designation.
Mm-hmm.
Because Acorn was a social welfare nonprofit, and the Republicans insisted that they were a political action committee,
Mm-hmm.
which are two totally different things.
And Jackie, they told so many whopping lies. They got Acorns
Defunded, yes.
defunded. They got Shirley. You remember the woman,
Shirley Sherrod.
Shirley Sherrod. They got her fired immediately, and the president has learned from that, and he continues to say, "Well, as soon as the investigation's done, as soon as we know why the president ain't getting on them more about this." President has learned, and he's always been a cool cucumber anyway.
Yes.
So he doesn't jump to. I mean, they're wanting him to go to war again. We would already be at war
In Syria.
in Syria.
Have a brand new war.
Have a brand new war if this president did not stop to think and say, wait a minute, hold on.
Yes.
I mean, Jackie, I remember 20 years ago standing in your mother's kitchen with you, and we were talking about the Russians and blah, 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 and the Middle East and war and stuff. And you said those people have been at war for 2,000 years,
Yes.
if not 3, and they're going to continue to be at war.
Yes.
And we can't whoop everybody, and we can't jump into 10 wars at a time. So they called him chicken, and they've gotten off of that, and they've gone back to Benghazi. And the president said yesterday, and there is no there.
Yes.
It's the same. He said the fact that we're talking about these talking points all over again, and that's all it is. Only this time it is focused on Hillary Clinton, because the polls have come out that she has over 68%, damn near 70% of the country who would vote for her for president.
Yes.
And this is all about.
And the thing about it is that it's really, in my opinion, I really hate these discussions about the 2016 presidential election. Because that's 4 years away.
So far away.
We have plenty to do between now and then.
And our people need these jobs, and the president has a jobs bill, and they won't look. Where's the president bill? The president doesn't generally write bills. He surely has no power to pass them. And they continue to talk about this shit, and the next thing you know, they're right back in there trying to pass a law against Obamacare, and they're right back here to this Benghazi situation. Jackie, just like in life and anything else, things happen, mistakes happen.
Yes.
But we do have the baddest damn intelligence force on the earth.
Yeah.
And they were trying to throw the CIA and the FBI under the bus a couple of months ago over Benghazi.
Yes.
And now they're talking about what intelligence thing they did when they foiled a bomb plot by planting a informant dead into the middle of Al-Qaeda.
Yes, and this is the next issue that you were just referring to, and that is that the Department of Justice issued subpoenas to the communications firms that handles the phone calls for the Associated Press, because they were doing an investigation about how that information was leaked. You understand?
Yes.
Because that's very sensitive information. You can't start talking about your operatives that you have inside a terrorist organization, because that's bad. So that information was leaked. At the time the information became public that the United States had foiled a bomb plot through an insider in Al-Qaeda that they had gotten in there in Yemen, all of this stuff, it was very awful. That leak was a very awful thing. And it was initially reported by the Associated Press. When the leak happened, 31 Republican senators wrote to Eric Holder in the Department of Justice and said, you need to get to the bottom of this, because this was illegal, this damages national security, and you need to get on this.
So 31 senators asked Eric Holder to investigate this.
31 Republican senators.
I'm sorry, 31 Republican senators asked him to investigate this, and now they're
aggressively investigating. Yes.
He recused himself so that there would be no talk of
Eric Holder is an asshole.
Yeah, basically. Was Jill's work crikey?
Yes, crikey. Yes.
Holy shit, Eric Holder, he was, oh my God, can you believe what he did?
Yes.
So Eric Holder recused himself, and now they're sitting here, the Obama administration, can you believe they did this? And you're telling us, me and the listeners, that 31 Republican senators demanded an investigation.
Yes.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Yes.
Jackie, sometimes you just know too damn much. And this shit just slanging shit again, making me mad. These are some amazing creatures. Jillian said it is their culture to war with their neighbors and each other, talking about the people
talking about in the Middle East.
in the Middle East. It's their culture, Jill. Okay, you're right, Jill. It's just like our culture to cook chitlins and collard greens. Fighting is what them some bitches know. And it's what they do. And we can't whoop everybody, and we can't get in the middle of all these fights.
No.
As sad as it is to see women, men, children killed, we cannot whoop everybody.
No.
And Barack Obama is always a coward because he won't jump right into it. What is it, Jackie? They're back to whether Barack Obama called it a terrorist act.
Yeah.
And is it Isa who said a terrorist act and an act of terror are two different things?
Yes, I know.
These folk need medication. I mean, Jackie, for real. The president looked like yesterday are you serious? We're back to talking about talking points and where to talk point. That's all been wrestled with. And again, the CIA director at the time was a Republican.
Yes.
And because he got caught doing putty tab, but when he showed up on Capitol Hill to testify about this whole Benghazi thing,
yes,
they were so polite to him.
And treated him with kid gloves. Yes.
And treated him with kid gloves. And now he's gone because he got some putty tat, some younger, slimmer putty tat than his wife. And they still aren't bringing his name up.
No, and they won't.
It's all about Susan Rice.
This is all about partisanship.
And Hillary Clinton.
Smearing other people and disrespecting the memories of those Americans.
If the head of the CIA was a Democrat at the time, Jackie, that this Benghazi mess took place.
Yes.
Oh my God. I am so tired. I'm really, really tired of this mess. And so is the country.
Yes, well, this is just another example of how they are working so hard to obstruct the president's agenda. Okay,
Jackie, we're going to go 10 more minutes before we take our last break and say goodbye. So would you talk to us about the unemployment rate, please?
Okay, well, last month the new unemployment rate was released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the unemployment rate has gone down to 7.5%.
He's a witch!
Which is still too high.
He's lying?
But it's amazing that there's any decline at all.
Worst rate we ever had? Oh, I'm sorry.
Just keep going.
Well, Jackie, that's how they do the president.
I know.
No matter what comes up. So this was good news. And they had 332,000 jobs created in February.
Yes.
They were wrong about the number of 80-some thousand in March. It was over 135,000.
Yes.
And April was another 100 and some thousand. And no matter what comes out, the stock market, which we'll be going right into to talk about before we take our next break, it is doing what, Jackie? Historical?
Yeah, historic highs, over 15,000.
He's a witch?
Yes.
And they're still telling a story, Jackie, and writing about him about to cause the stock market to crash.
I'm sorry?
The Republicans are still going out and talking about he's causing the stock market to crash. He's about to cause it to crash, everybody. Things are just horrible in this country.
Well, let me just say something about the stock market, okay?
Please.
And that is that the market goes up and it goes down. One of the things that concerns me the most about our stock market right now is that it seems to be somewhat divorced from economic reality.
Mm-hmm.
And when the stock market goes way, way high, there usually is what the economists call a correction. And what that correction usually consists of is the folks who've been in the market selling their stuff off to take that money and do something else with it.
Jackie, you know what the stock market represents to me?
But,
They run on gossip.
oh, yes.
Because, you know, just a week or two ago, somebody tweeted a lie that the president had been injured.
Yes, in a bombing at the White House.
In a bombing at the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Had no truth to it, but the stock market plunged on that lie and that gossip. I think they infiltrated the AP's Twitter account or something. Amazing. So the stock market, they're doing all this. But you know, the saying is, Jackie, that if you want to live like a Republican, vote Democrat.
Yes.
That's the saying.
Yes.
And everybody and jobs, we could be doing great with jobs in this country.
Much better, yes.
If they would allow the president and everybody, every economist, every expert on this tells us, this is when you start spending money. This is when the government starts to spend money. And
especially since interest rates are so low.
Okay, especially.
Even though our debt load is high, it's a good time to borrow money.
And here the Republicans are running around here with this foolishness on talking points about Benghazi.
Yes.
There is no there. Oh. Okay, Jackie, please, let's go to Plan B contraception controversy, please.
Well, a federal judge very recently ruled that the FDA's initial recommendation that would make Plan B emergency contraception available without a prescription over the counter, he upheld that decision and said that, yes, it's safe and effective, and yes, it should be available over the counter, just like condoms and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he ruled that in 30 days, this stuff should be available over the counter.
Mm-hmm.
The Obama administration is appealing that decision, and it's real funny that this is an area where the Obama administration has been very strong for women's rights and women's contraception, women's ability to choose.
Mm-hmm.
But with this Plan B thing, they're backing up a little bit. And I heard somebody talk about this recently.
And they've given a reason as to why they're backing up on it?
Well, it is surmised that since the president has two young teenage daughters.
Oh, Jackie, don't you even go there, girl. Who was that? Was that Fox Fix News?
No, that wasn't Fox News.
Who was it?
He wants some controls on this stuff because he has two teenage daughters.
Yeah, and
what the Obama administration has done is they have proposed middle ground for this. But I have to say I'm hoping that the appeal is not successful, because I think it should be available over the counter.
Jackie, did you hear the smut?
Everybody shut up about it.
Did you hear the smut that was said? I got so mad, I didn't even write it down. It just made me so mad. I think I hit mute and started to listen to After Hours again.
What?
Well, about the smut that the president's daughters, they want to know if they're on birth controls.
No, I did not.
Oh, Jackie, it was unbelievable. We will
know,
bring that to y'all next week.
In the mud. I don't think so.
No, Jack said no. We don't even want the clip. Yeah, because
we're not even going to talk.
I will seriously get a headache again. These people have no. They're talking about the president's daughters got to go on 2 spring breaks. How embarrassing! What a waste of money! Really. The president can afford to send his girls wherever. But the Bahamas is extremely expensive. Okay, I'm not going to waste my breath on that kind of mess.
I was about to say, would you please stop it?
Yes, let's go to Emily's list, and then we're going to take our last break.
Well, no, I still want to talk a little.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You have something else to add to the contraception.
Because what a lot of people don't know is that Plan B is a one-step, one-tablet contraceptive that can be taken after you've had unprotected sex that can reduce your chance of getting pregnant.
Okay. That's right. Yes, I remember that now.
Yes. And it is, and this is considered to be a great thing, because if you end up doing something you should not do and you don't want to have a baby, you can take this within 72 hours to prevent a pregnancy.
Well, Jackie, you know that sperm is a living being, and and they don't want to kill it, What's the joke about the sperm? Run like hell is a blowjob. The Republicans don't want to waste a sperm. Don't you kill that sperm. Don't. And that baby got property rights. That it? Got property rights.
Yeah, life, liberty, and property.
Yeah, it is. Go ahead, Jackie.
Okay. So let me just go ahead and give you the story.
Yes.
The Department of Justice is seeking a delay in compliance with the judge's order that the contraception be available over the counter without age restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
The DOJ asserts that the court's order exceeds the court's authority in compelling the FDA to act outside the required statutory procedures by changing the drug status from prescription to non-prescription. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The DOJ also notes that the FDA recently dropped the age restrictions of Plan B from 17 to 15, but this was after the court's order.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is really an interesting thing, and it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out, because I've always wondered about the difference in how not only the law but the medical community seems to treat contraception for women as opposed to contraception for men, because you may remember that it was years and years and years before they could advertise condoms on television.
Uh-huh. And now they're advertising vibrators and condoms.
I know, but during that time they could advertise feminine pads and tampons and all of this other stuff, but they could not advertise condoms on TV.
And it was a long time coming before the insurance companies would cover or partially cover birth control and let you pay a little copay. But the minute Viagra came out,
absolutely,
they were already, oh yeah.
And that just goes to that whole strange double standard that exists,
for
where
women.
Men are encouraged to have as much sex as they can, but women are not supposed to have sex at all. So if men are supposed to be having sex with any woman they can find, and women are not supposed to be having sex at all, what's supposed to happen? Are men supposed to start having sex with each other? Is that?
Like I said, run like hell. It's a blowjob. You are listening to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and helping me to talk about it and always helping to keep you informed is the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, a.k.a. Miss Uppity Speaks. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back to finish up with you, and I want y'all to listen up to this little commercial, okay? Okay, y'all stick and stay.
From this love that we are, we're all made of the same stuff everywhere, from Mother Earth to the stars.
Hey y'all, you are listening to the beginning of Spreaker's Tuesday night triple threat in full effect, starting out with Let's Talk About It with the wild and wonderful Brenda White and the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, a.k.a. Miss Uppity Speaks, and waiting at the Spreaker Depot is David Capers and that wild train ride he's going to take you on called the Razor Blade Express. Oh, honey, you know you got to hold on to your wig and your panties too, because this ride is unbelievable. And then waiting in the wings is the Love Doctor, DJ Tony Sanchez, with the smoothest, most relaxing love songs on the net. So stick and stay right here for Spreaker's Tuesday night triple threat in full effect. beginning at 5 until 7 p.m. for Let's Talk About It, the funniest, the craziest, and the most informative political talk show on the net. And then waiting at the depot, get your tickets for David Capers and the Razor Blade Express from 7 until 10 p.m. And waiting in the wings from 10 until 12 midnight, The Love Doctor, DJ Tony Sanchez. He's going to do it to you up and down, round and round, back and forth, side to side, and then straight down the middle of your ear hole. I'll see you in the chat room at Spreaker, Spreaker.com, all times Eastern. Oh, Sookie, y'all. That's my song. Take a love bath, baby. With Smokey Robinson. Coming up, Stick and Stay, DJ David Capers, a.k.a. My Daddy Boo Boo, is waiting in the wings. Coming up at 7 o'clock. Y'all get on the train. Get your tickets, okay? All right, Jackie, we are back. And may we please cover Emily's list, and then we'll close out.
All right. Well, I just want everyone to know that Brenda really wanted to talk about Emily's list.
Yes, I did.
I mean, she really did. She's so excited.
Uh-huh.
So Emily's List is an organization whose mission is dedicated to electing pro-choice Democratic women to office. And that's basically it. They look for viable political opportunities and they recruit strong pro-choice Democratic women candidates to run.
Mm-hmm.
They tell their community of members about these women and ask them to give to the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
These women. They provide training for candidates and staff. And they encourage women to get out and vote.
Yes.
And that's basically what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Emily's List is taking credit for, or I should say, is responsible for helping to elect so many Democratic women to Congress.
Uh-huh. And they are...
And also governors, Democratic governors.
Women all over across the board. And they are gearing up.
And for state and local office, yes.
Yes, and they're gearing up for Hillary Clinton. And we say right here, run, Hillary, run. You can always tell when the Republicans are afraid of somebody or something, because they start coming up with, but they should just, they have no shame, Jackie. They just make up shit. Oh, and that is the name of the show tonight, isn't it? That's the subject. Slangin shit.
Yes.
And their shit ain't even worth slanging. Their shit ain't shit. Can I just say that their shit ain't shit? Does that make sense to you, Jackie?
I understand you.
Okay. All right. With 9 minutes remaining, Jackie, if you're finished with Emily's list, would you go to the Negro Please list?
Well, today...
And the dumbass comment.
I'm sorry. I just, because I also get really funny. Because this person has been our Negro Please before.
So many times.
And I know... What did you say?
So many times.
And I know I need to quit it. But I just have to go there. I'm going there one more time and then I'm through. And I'm not going to put him on the list anymore.
I bet you will. Who is it?
It is your baby.
My husband?
Yes.
My man, Louis?
Yes.
Jackie. I'm honored.
But he's just a laugh a minute.
My husband, Louis Gomer, got it again. At the end of the year, we should give the award to the one who's been on the Negro Please dumbass comment and word of the week most often. And I think he is going to blow the rest of them out of the water, Jackie. What my husband do now?
Well, is your husband on this whole immigration thing?
What?
God love him. He just can't seem to make up his mind.
he done run off one of the Florida NRC Hispanic up at Mucket and Mucks. What else he want? What'd he do? What'd he say?
Listen, first Louis got out and said today that when Hispanic people learn how the Republican Party is pro-life and pro-family, he's sure that they will become Republicans.
He said what?
No, you're going to like this. It's better.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. He says that when Latinos learn that only the Republican Party is pro-life and pro-family, they will certainly become Republican. But the Democratic Party is trying to use immigration reform to create a monolithic voting bloc like the black folks against the Republicans.
The listeners can't see me, but I'm scratching my head right now. I'm confused.
Exactly. So how can that's one of the things too that I think that Republicans should get the award for cognitive dissonance.
Okay.
Just play it all the time, and for those of you who may wonder what I'm talking about, cognitive dissonance is holding two opposite beliefs at the same time.
That's what I was laughing about. I was going to say, you got to tell us, that is Jackie's word of the week.
That is what they do.
All of us will sit there like, what?
Diametrically opposed views at the same time. I love the way these guys, they come out and they say one thing, and then in the next sentence or the next paragraph, they contradict what they just said.
Like I said, I'm confused. Okay, so we just got the Negro Please. Louis won that award. He won the dumbass comment, and he pushed Jackie into one of the biggest words of the week ever. Say it for us one more time, Jackie.
No, cognitive dissonance is 2 words.
Yes, it is right. It is 2 words. Okay. Okay. So he really pushed Jackie. Okay, 2 words for the week.
2 words.
You can't, but you got to use them together in this sense. Okay, Jackie, and tell us one more time what it means.
It means holding opposing views at the same
time. I love it. My husband. Now y'all see why I married Louis, right? I like exciting and fun and crazy.
Oh, and he is all of those things.
And Jill said cognitive craziness. Okay, Jill. We will let that be the co-host of the co-host 2 words for the week too. Cognitive craziness. Earlier.
I have to disagree with Jill. Cognitive craziness would mean that they know they're crazy.
They do know they're crazy, and they know when they laugh.
No, they don't know. They don't know.
Jackie, did you see Chris Matthews' interview yesterday with some Republican congressman?
Yes.
Oh my God, Chris was so frustrated. I'm asking you, what did the president know about this? Did he do something? What did he do wrong? He sang the same song. We don't know. This is why we have in our investigation. Now, y'all don't know shit because there's no there.
No.
But you keep on going crazy. But you know what? That was excellent. That was an excellent way to win to end the show, Jackie. And we thank you so very much. I love these educations that Jackie gives us. Now, Jackie, I want you to say goodbye to the audience.
Goodbye, audience.
And the chimps are yelling back and saying goodbye to you. We want to thank you so much for joining us here, y'all. You have been listening to Let's Talk About It. I love it when I cue that music and it just slaps right there. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and helping me to talk about it always helping me to keep you informed is the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, aka Miss Uppity Speaks. And in the chat room, helping us keep the shit slanging, is our baby, the co-host of the co-host, Miss Jillian I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar Anderson from Down Under. We thank you for joining us here, and we'll see you next Tuesday night. Same bat time, same bat channel for the same bat shit. Okay? Okay, so goodbye, y'all. We love you. Get on over there to the train depot and get your ticket and get on the Razor Blade Express. Daddy Boo Boo is waiting for you. I'll see you in the chat room. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye, Jackie. Say it again.
See the many faces, you recognize what you know. There's a deeper love inside that finds us, and it's everywhere you go. You see it in the eyes, feel it in the touch of a stranger's hand, in the voices of the children, in a language that we all